Good day, everyone. So obviously the 3.2 live stream has been out. It's now on YouTube. You can watch it. Been out for like an hour and a half already. So hopefully most of you've sort of seen it. So let's talk a bit about it: the good, the bad, and obviously the terrible casualness of it. So I think the best part about the live stream is, of course, the new character Nahida. She's such an adorable little cutie. Definitely going to get her. And then, of course, the Archon quest, which is going to be really, really hype. I certainly love the stories and so on. I'm very, very happy about those things. I'm happy about Nahida's abilities that was sort of showcased and so on. So definitely look forward to us sort of covering the character in a bit more detail. Now, a big sort of negative for me was the fact that Layla is on the second half of 3.2 as she's on the Yamiko and Tartaglia banner, and for me this is just like such a it's such a scumbag move from Hoyoverse, because I mean we would have had two characters to cover, and now we only have like one character to cover, because I'm honestly not going to wish. I already have a C6i, and obviously I'm careful with male characters, to be quite honest. So yeah, I'm going to have to skip Layla, and it's just sad because, you know, another cryo character potentially could have worked quite well with Shenhe, cover some things more in that line, but whatever. It's what it is. So let's talk a bit about the actual content that they presented. For me, one of the big things that stood out was the fact that the entire tone of the sort of live stream was very much, in a sense, like focused to ease you as a casual player. It was very much in the spirit of saying this is a casual game with a bunch of casual mini games and so on. You know, look, we can train your fungi, we can sort of use character abilities to, I don't know, hit a ball into a soccer post using electrocharge. It's cute things. Now, I mean, obviously using the abilities, recontextualizing them with different gameplay elements, that's fine. But training your fungus is, I don't know. I mean, seriously, we have characters. The reason we pull or play this game is to get a character that I can physically do stuff with. So to introduce gameplay elements that detract from that seems kind of, I don't know, very, very iffy to me. And what was very interesting is when they talked about the hypostasis symphony, or I don't know, symphony or whatever that event is, they were very much talking in a very casual friendly sort of way. They definitely said stuff like, well, you know, you can clear this on the lowest difficulty to get the Primo Gem rewards, and the voice actors even explicitly said, this is on the Ian version, by the way, so they explicitly said, oh, you know, I'm definitely not trying the most difficult version of this, because there's like different difficulty settings. And it's just like, really? It's like, you know, this should be an event where we can really start checking how good our characters are. You know, what was the sort of almost like, I don't know, like battlegrounds for all this effort that we've put into raising characters, and yet the voice actors themselves are kind of discouraging us from actually doing anything that's too difficult, because, you know, otherwise little Timmy and on his little iPhone that's playing Hu Tao with a defense circlet is going to struggle. And it's just like, why do we water down the game for casual players? It's just like, why not give us the optionality to have more difficult things, and then just sort of then appease to your broad-based audience in that way? It's just, I don't know. I do think that the philosophy of the game is kind of going in the wrong direction here. So for instance, one of the cool things that I've sort of seen in playing Honkai Impact and some of their events is that whilst you can have mini games that are detached from characters and their sort of combat abilities, you're still playing these mini games with some of the characters that are relevant to the story and so on. So for me, it's almost like, you know, I'm getting an introduction to the Honkai world. I'm seeing the same sort of character faces, their interactions and so on, but at least they've got relevance to the story, they've got relevance as Valkyries, and when I play the event, I'm playing as that character, even though I'm not using their abilities, I'm just using them in a different capacity. And that is fine, but when it comes to catching fungi, I mean, really? Is that really what we're gonna do? It feels very, very watered down. I'd much rather them put in a different game mode where you have a bunch of trial characters and you can progressively unlock, let's say, constellations on some of these trial characters, and then the arena and battle difficulty slowly becomes more and more difficult as you sort of play the modes. You redeem a trial character's constellation, and it just goes on and on like that. I mean, yeah, there are many different ways of doing this, but I don't know. I mean, mixed feelings. Love Nahida, but the rest of it is just kind of meh. Tell me what you guys think. Cheers.